Alright, hi guys. So, I actually have been meaning to do this for a while. I actually wanted to make my own D&D Dice Tower. But I haven't really been able to figure out how to do it. So yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, it was like night stupid the day before. I went out and by myself for the first time. It was totally great. I was biking around and I went to this place called the Friends of the Library where you can get like books for like literally $2, like $1 or $2. You see that? $1 or $2. It's awesome. And yeah, if you guys are ever in Beaverton, Oregon, you guys should definitely check it out. I got this My Princess craft book, and in here it shows how to make a princess castle. And so I figured, why not modify it to make my dice tower for when I go play D&D every Saturday? So, this video is gonna teach you how to do it. Hope you guys stay tuned. And so what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna get a box like that. And here, I'll put the camera up a little bit. You're gonna want to get a box like this. And you're gonna want to I started cutting off the bottom, the tape on the bottom. My mom has like a fat stack of boxes. So it's just geez, Ma, thanks. Give me a fat stack of boxes. And she gets mad at me when I take her boxes. It's just like, Mom, I'm a crafty person. You can't ask a crafty person to not steal your boxes. Anyway, so, I'll leave a link in the, I'll leave a list in the description of the, objects you will need, but for now you need these. You need cylinder stuff. My mom likes Young's Living, so she has a lot of these Young's Living tubes. But you can, if you don't have these, you can get, toilet paper rolls. They work just as fine. Alright, so from here, what you're going to want to do is kind of fiddle around with the box a little bit and get a feel with how you want the box to look, how you want it to stand. You can have it stand horizontally or vertically. I chose vertically because I wanted it to be a dice tower, of course, since we're making a dice tower. So, I want it to have more length, so I chose that. If you want it to be more widthy, then you can go ahead with that. I feel like this dice box was a little bit too big, but that's okay. This was my first time making one. So you can kind of adjust yours as you go. I don't think anybody needs that big of a thing. Anyway, so what I did for mine is I cut off the top here, and I made it, and I am taping down the sides because I want it to be tall, not wide. And so anyway, there's the tower right there. It kind of shows that there's how tall it is and how tall I kind of want to make it. And so I'm taping down the sides there. For the love of the goddess, please do not use duct tape or scotch tape. I mean it. It is not very good. I didn't have anything else with me. I normally have my hot glue gun, but I'm out of hot glue sticks, so I was stuck with my everyday scotch tape. Please, for the love of the goddess, please do not use scotch tape. Please use duct tape or masking tape. Anything is better. So yeah, please use anything but regular tape. Anyway, so yeah. Then I cut a diamond in the bottom there for the opening. So you should have those 4 flaps. You should have them right there. There's me holding all of them. You should have all these because you're going to use them all. You're only going to be using 3 of them for the actual tower, but you're going to be using the last one for something completely different. Or you can use all 4 of them. It's kind of up to you. I chose to only use 3 of them in the end. So for what you're going to do here is you're going to want to stick the flaps so they're like at a downward vertical as they go down. As you can see there, they're supposed to go at a downward vertical. It is recommended that you go to the bottom first. You use the bottom first and you make your way up. You don't do the top first and then the bottom. You tape the bottom first and then the middle one and the top one. Do not tape the top one first because you're going to have a hell of a time if you do that. That's going to be a very, very bad time. Anyway, and then, yeah, that one I'm going to use for the tray. I'm going to cut it in, like, a doorway, or you can cut it in the way that you actually cut. You can actually cut the opening any way you want. I just chose a triangle because that's what I wanted. So yeah, there you go with that. Whew. So, as you can see, I taped the thing down. Another thing that I forgot to mention before is, something I didn't do that I wish I would have done before I started the project is, if you want all the pieces to be painted correctly, I would have painted all the pieces individually before I assembled them all together. That would have been really helpful for the end product. But I didn't do that, and lesson learned. Anyway, so there's me. I taped the middle piece. I actually, fun fact, I actually dropped my iPod down this thing a couple of times after I was all done taping them together. And I actually dropped down, I actually dropped it down the whole thing, 30 times. There I am doing it again. I'm doing it there with only the 2. And it actually works pretty good, but yeah, I'm gonna be taping up the 3rd piece there. Another thing with the, taping or gluing, whatever, the bottom piece, you need to do it more at a diagonal. I didn't do it enough at a diagonal, and so the dice doesn't always roll out into the tray, which I think I should have added more of a diagonal. Which I didn't, but lesson learned, add more of a diagonal, that way your dice will actually roll out of the tower and not be stuck somewhere in the tower. Also, don't make the tower as big. I would have made it a little bit more thinner, because the dice probably just had too much room to not roll in. So yeah, lesson learned with that. So what it says here is to cut these things at 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So like I did with my fingers there. So yeah, here I am, and I showed you what they look like. That's actually how you attach them to the 3 corners, and here I'm showing you the actual, in case you need a visual, 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So there you go. And another thing that helped me was actually pull out the tab part that sticks out. Pulling that out actually really helped, and also taping the edges. The edges really helped. Taping the edges really helped, because me trying to get it in there on a not smooth surface was really hard. So taping the edges really did help me a whole lot. It actually gave me a smooth surface. What am I doing there? Oh, I dropped it there. Okay. So there's that. So now we're going to be making the tray, the dice part that actually comes out. So remember the big flap and the little flap that we had? Or you can just have the small flap, it doesn't matter. Or out of the pieces that you cut, you can use that as well. So, see? Yeah, you can use that as well. You can just tape them together and then tape them at the bottom and then do something with that if you want. It's completely up to you. This is your dice tower, so you can do whatever you want. For me, I had this extra big flap here, so I marked it with I pressed my scissors into it, and yeah, that gave me the molding, and so then I was able to cut it and refine it, and I actually made it a little bit too small, which I'm actually kind of sad about, because that made it where the dice kept getting caught on the edges. Anyway, so yeah, lesson learned, do not do it about as big as the dice, do it as big as the big tower, or else it's gonna get caught on the edges and you're gonna get pretty mad. Also, don't do as big as a triangle as I did. Yeah, I'm rolling the edges here. It makes it really easier to bend around the bottom piece after you attach it. But another thing that I wouldn't do is the triangle, or if you're gonna do the triangle, do it more up. Don't do it from the corners up. Do it a little bit more upper, because the dice also keeps getting caught, and that makes it really irritating for me. Again, lesson learned. So anyway, there I am rolling it, and then, I roll it frontwards, and then I roll it backwards. So I roll it on one side, and then I roll it on the other, so it's all nice and bendy, and I can bend it any way I want. And it's really easy to curve around the edge there, and you're gonna see in a couple seconds how I tape it into place. But I'm gonna show you what it looks like first. So it's like, you take it, and it's really easy to wrap around. I've seen a lot of DIYs do this, so this is where I got it from. So yeah, there I am. I had a little bit of a tape malfunction there for a couple minutes, I think somewhere in there. Also, I found my mom's good tape. I got into the good tape, and I found it, because in the middle of this process, I ran out of my tape, so I was actually really sad about that. Yeah, this project takes a lot of tape. Unless that's also another reason why you shouldn't use regular old everyday Scotch tape. You should use, more thicker big kids tape. You should use or hot glue or duct tape or something better, because the way I was doing it was friggin' a mess and not very smart. Anyway, so I'm attaching the towers in a crisscross fashion. You tape the tape one side and then you tape it to the other way, and that way creates like this crisscross fashion that's actually really stable and really sturdy. And then I'm also taping it on the inside to make sure that it really can't really go anywhere. It's gonna stay no matter what. Now, at the very end of this, I actually didn't know what I was gonna do with these, so I'm decided I'm just gonna use them as pencil holders, because you never know when you're gonna need a pencil or something during D&D. So pencil holders for the win, or maybe some other stuff that you're gonna possibly need for D&D. I don't know. Maybe you keep rocks and shit in there. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what it basically looks like. I have that. And it's pretty much all taped in. I'm taping some extra things to make sure it's more secure. I'm actually showing you what it's like to be taped in place and stuff like that right there. And then I dropped that thing about 20 times, because I don't show all of it on camera, but I dropped like my iPod and that tape like 20 times, 20, 30 times down my tower. And it actually stayed. It didn't, none of the flaps dented, none of the flaps even dropped or moved or anything. So I think I actually made it pretty sturdy. So you can actually add those little things at the end, around the towers, the cones and stuff. If you want, it's completely up to you. Here you can freeze frame. If you want to make it exactly the way that tower looks or similar, you can freeze frame, and I can show you here. I allow you to freeze frame in a couple minutes. So yeah, you can just freeze frame and get a good, and take pictures or whatever. That book also has a lot of couple other things. The book is called, like a Princess Crafting book. It's actually really great. I don't know where you can find it. I just got it at the Friends of the Library for like $2. It was really great. But it's got some other crafts in there, and it's got stickers and stencils, and it's really great. I actually really like it. I'm really, really happy about it. You know, I might be 18 and everything, but, you know, it was totally worth buying it, because, you know, you could always be a little princess or a little prince at heart. You never know. So yeah, you can also do the vines and stuff if you wanted. That looks like it was done out of yarn. So you can do basically the decoration's up to you. Once you're done actually doing the basic building, the decorating is all up to you. You can do the decorating any way you want. Alright, that was my cat in the background. But yeah, I decided to paint mine purple. That took almost a half an hour, maybe an hour to a half an hour. And then I coated the entire thing with Mod Podge to keep the paint from rubbing off. And to keep it so it doesn't like smear on my dice, because I don't want paint on my dice. My dice are very precious to me. And this is the finished product. I put some stickers on and everything. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye!